And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in the Quran the journey of the soul by mentioning that there are different types of nufus, different types of our nafs goes through various different stages. The first is nafs ammara, which we just saw in Surah Yusuf. This ayah, we are looking at that. So nafs ammara is that version of our nafs, let's put it this way, that that is prone to evil, that is totally under the influence of shaitan, right? And if it is not checked, and if it is not cleansed out, then that can have very, very serious consequences, right? This nafs ammara, because it's constantly, whenever you have a terrible thought, that is your nafs ammara speaking. Whenever you have any evil thought, that's your nafs ammara speaking. That happens. Even during Ramadan, it happens. Although shaitan is locked up, but the nafs is still there. The nafs hasn't been locked up. Nafs is still there. So a lot of times, the nafs has become so used to the whisperings of the shaitan that it itself has become shaitani, right? And it is described in the Quran, like we just saw in Surah Yusuf, ayah number 53. Then the second stage is something which is known as nafs lawwama, right? Nafs lawwama. And the third is nafs mutma'inna. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about all of these different stages in the Quran, right? Nafs ammara, we just saw, right? In this ayah. Nafs lawwama is that nafs which is, it's your conscience, let's put it this way, that it pricks. You tell a lie, you do ghiba, something pricks. Something, and that's, alhamdulillah, very positive sign. That it tries to resist evil. It's gone up a level or perhaps several levels, and it's now trying to, shaitan is not going to get the better of me type of situation. And a lot of times, alhamdulillah, if that happens with us, that we do something blatantly wrong, we know that, and it hurts, it pinches, and we feel guilt. That is nafs al-lawwama, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has talked about that in Surah Al-Qiyamah, ayah number 2. Wala uqsimu bin nafs al-lawwama. So I swear by the self-reproaching nafs. And the third stage. And again, this is not technically 1, 2, 3, but this is the thing to aim at. So there are many, many other stages in between, but these are the names that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has specifically mentioned in the Quran. Now, this is that nafs that is good to go to his Lord, basically. When that nafs, mutmain, those of you who know Urdu know what mutmain means, absolutely cool and fine with the deen of Allah, absolutely satisfied and good with the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, no problem with parda, with namaz, with roza, with being kind to other, everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in the Sharia, good with it, no issue. Absolutely no. That is an amazing level to be at, right? So the aql has come under the influence of the spirituality. It's not ungodly anymore. That is when the taqwa is at its peak. That is nafsul mutmainna. And then please understand, because it's a lifelong process, so you can move up and move down also. So you may reach the level of mutmainna, say in Ramadan. It's easy, but then all of a sudden you realize, oh my God, what is going on? So you've gone down. So it's like that. It's a slippery thing. Okay? So it's not static. That's why it's a lifelong process. Personal development, even if you look at it from a non-dini point of view, is a lifelong thing. And it's not as if I have achieved, it's not like that A star that you've got because you've taken that one exam. It's a constant struggle. So remember we talked about that the heart and the nafs are constantly in struggle. So it's a constant struggle. One day you could be here, the other day you could be there. In the same day, one time you could be here and the other time you could be much lower. So the believer's aim is to keep yourself above. Just like we say, don't be below the poverty line, don't sink, keep your head above the water. So it's like keeping your head above the water, and it's a constant struggle. How do you keep your head above the water? By constantly making some effort. By constantly making some effort. My teacher always used to give this beautiful example of Sirat al-Mustaqim being like this slide. if you're not making sure, and you are climbing, you know, like how kids used to climb. Did you do that when you were a child? Niche se upar, you know, you're going that way. If you stop, either you're going to stay stagnant or you're going to slip down. So it's an effort. It's a constant effort. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember, we talked about one of the scholars, he was asked that Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, when are you going to rest? He said, when my right foot is in Jannah. There is no rest in this dunya for a true believer, because you have to work on yourself and constantly. And we see that in ourselves big time also, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is such beautiful verses in Surah Al-Fajr, right? Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutma'inna irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiyah fadkhuli fi ibadi wadkhuli jannati. O content soul, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us death on nafsul mutma'inna. Come back to your Lord. Right? That is our true home. So it's like going back home, right? Well pleased and well pleasing. You know, I'm Radi on my Rabb. Right? Isn't a Radi on the Rada of my Rabb? I'm good with it. I'm happy with it. So enter among my special servants and enter my Jannah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from among those. This nafsul mutma'inna, and who are welcomed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his Jannah. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen.